History Spotlight, brought to you by HEC Media and the Missouri Historical Society.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jody Sowell, president of the Missouri Historical Society in St. Louis, and this is History Spotlight. In November of 1960, more than 2,000 people crowded into this very room to hear Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speak. Public historian Cicely Hunter tells us about his visit.
On November 27, 1960, 2,000 people would attend United Hebrew Temple to hear the speech of Dr. Martin Luther King, which was titled Future of Integration. During the 33rd season of the Liberal Forum of the Jewish Community Centers Association, Martin Luther King would be among a list of other 4 distinguished speakers who would come to St. Louis and speak about various topics. An attendee could purchase a ticket for $1.25, though if they were a student, the tickets would be 75 cents. Can you imagine? According to Rabbi Grauman, Martin was so weary that evening, and there were so many places he was unwelcome, even in danger. I invited him into my study at the temple, gave him some hot tea. It was a cold November night, and led him to my big leather armchair. I think he dozed for a few minutes and then came out of the room refreshed and ready to meet the 2,000 people that had gathered to hear his message of brotherhood. An account from an attendee on that evening mentioned the place was packed, jam-packed, and his speech was mesmerizing. Newspapers provide coverage and reported after the event that Martin Luther King Jr. stated, "The United States is standing on the threshold of the most creative period in the development of race relations." He spoke very frankly about the Ku Klux Klan and White Citizens Council by saying that they do not stop with legal tactics, and the forces of defiance present certain barriers. Although he talked about the different challenges that the United States faced, ultimately, Dr. King wanted to elicit a constant message of nonviolence and that the fact that integration could happen. Today, the building that hosted Martin Luther King Jr., as well as the 2,000 people who crowded this space, now serves as the Library and Research Center for the Missouri Historical Society. A plaque commemorating this major monumentous moment in celebration of Dr. King in that moment is now housed in the reading room.
Next week on History Spotlight, the St. Louis Rowing Clubs of the Past.
To learn more about the Missouri Historical Society, visit mohistory.org.